Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads, and the road to E3 continues. And of course, we have to bring in the master of hype for some of the hottest, hypest Nintendo E3 predictions for 2021. Of course, I'm talking about no one else than Mr. Rogers Base. Roger, what you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, Nintendo Dads? Rogers Base here, and these are my top 3 predictions for E3 2021 when it comes to Nintendo. Now, I already did a full video on my main YouTube channel talking about this, going over all of my predictions, which things I think are locks, which things I think are likely to happen, and which things I think are sort of like 50-50. And the big thing I've been feeling going into this E3 from a lot of people online is that people don't think this is going to be that strong of an E3, considering the fact it's digital only and we're just coming off of a pandemic. But honestly, I feel like this is going to be a really good one for Nintendo. There's so many projects we already know about, things like Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends Arceus, the Diamond and Pearl remake, Splatoon 3, and the new Monolith Soft game. And we already know that the new Switch revision is being manufactured. So with all of that in place and all those things that we already know about, I feel like even if we only find out information about 1 or 2 of those things, it's going to be a good E3. Now, with that in mind, my first prediction that I'm going to share with all of you is I think absolutely 100%, no doubt about it, we are getting at least one Super Smash Bros. Character during this presentation, most likely revealed at the very beginning. Maybe we're going to end up getting 2 characters, and then the announcement that for the second character, there'll be like a Mr. Sakurai Presents type presentation, and then during that, we'll find out whether or not there will be more DLC or if this is really the end. But I definitely think that the 5th fighter in this Challenger Pack will be released around E3 time and announced during E3. Considering the fact it's been a couple months since Pyra and Mithra, I do think whoever they end up announcing is going to be released very soon after. In terms of predictions, honestly, I've been all over the place. I got Sephiroth right, but at the same time, when you go back and look at my video talking about all the characters that I thought were going to be in the second pass, I pretty much got it completely wrong. So who knows? I think it's going to be a third-party character, so maybe someone along the lines of like Master Chief or Dr. Eggman or even Crash Bandicoot, maybe something like that. But I'm not even going to bother predicting. Another thing that I think is absolutely positively going to be present in some fashion is an update for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think we're going to get a huge summer update for that game. I think we're going to get Cap'n coming back, Tortimer Island, mini games, a lot of online stuff, cute little tropical items, and remember, this is the year of Zelda's anniversary, and there were previously in old Animal Crossing games Zelda items. We had the Master Sword, we had the Triforce, we had the Majora's Mask. So I think all those items, in addition to new ones, probably based on Breath of the Wild, will be added to Animal Crossing New Horizons. My hope and dream is that we end up getting a guardian that we get put in our towns, that when you walk by it, it goes dun, 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 and points a laser at you. I think that would be super cute, but we're just going to have to wait and see. I think that could be really cool to tie into Breath of the Wild 2 as well. Additionally, in terms of a third prediction, I've pretty much already gone over the 2 things that I think are locks. So I'm going to actually dive into something that I don't think is a lock necessarily, but I think is highly likely that not a lot of people are talking about. And that is, I think we are going to get the reveal of the new Monolith Soft developed game, the developers of Xenoblade and things like that, at E3. I think it's entirely dependent on whether or not Breath of the Wild 2 actually comes out this year alongside the Switch Pro. If that happens, then I think this Monolith Soft game is going to be next spring around that time. But if Breath of the Wild 2 and the Switch Pro are delayed until next year, then I think that the Monolith Soft game is going to be one of the really big holiday titles. And the reason I say that I think the Monolith Soft game is sooner than people think is due to the fact that they've already posted on Facebook, one of the developers or one of the musicians or something has posted a picture on Facebook that they're already recording music for the game, and they've already started voiceover. Now, that does not happen unless the game is almost finished. So that says to me that whether this is a new IP or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, or maybe it's a new world in the world of Xenoblade, similar to Xenoblade X, I don't know. Regardless, Monolith Soft game is going to be there. I'm putting money on it. And so I think that goes for all 3 of my major predictions. I think other people are going to be talking about Breath of the Wild 2 and stuff like that, so I'm not going to bother with it. But if you want to find out all my other predictions, you can go check out my prediction video. Thanks, as always, for having me, Nintendo Dads. Always a pleasure, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about everything that's going to be announced at E3, post-E3. See you guys then. Bye, everybody.